The Collins elite is a shadowy, alleged group within the U.S. government said to have investigated UFO phenomena for decades, concluding that these encounters are not extraterrestrial but demonic in nature. This secretive cabal, blending Christian theology with conspiracy, has stirred debate among ufologists, researchers, and skeptics alike. Their story is rooted in Cold War paranoia and amplified by modern UFO disclosure movements, and it remains a fascinating, if unproven, thread in the tapestry of unexplained phenomena. The Collins elite reportedly emerged in the late 1940s or early 1950s, a period marked by heightened UFO activity following Kenneth Arnold's 1947 flying saucer sighting and the Roswell incident. Comprised of military officers, intelligence agents, scientists, and devout Christians, the group is said to have formed amid fears that UFOs represented a threat beyond earthly technology. According to Nick Redfern's 2010 book Final Events, their initial curiosity about alien visitation shifted as they interpreted sightings through a biblical lens, viewing them as manifestations of fallen angels or demonic entities deceiving humanity. This theory gained traction during the Cold War when anxieties about Soviet espionage and nuclear annihilation fueled speculation about otherworldly forces. Their name, Collins Elite, remains a mystery. No official documentation confirms its origin. Some suggest it honors a founding member, while others tie it to Fortean researcher John Keel's influence, though Keel himself never mentioned such a group. At the heart of the Collins elite's ideology is the rejection of the extraterrestrial hypothesis. They argue that UFOs and their occupants, often described as gray aliens or other non-human entities, NHEs, are interdimensional beings with malevolent intent. Drawing from Scripture, they see these entities as part of a satanic deception, potentially paving the way for Armageddon. This aligns with their alleged view that alien abductions and cattle mutilations mirror historical accounts of demonic interference, a narrative they claim the government has suppressed to avoid mass panic. Their mission, as described by Redfern and others, was twofold: to study UFO phenomena through a theological framework and to dissuade government agencies from engaging with these entities. They reportedly feared that projects involving psychic research or contact with NHEs, think MK Ultra-style experiments or rumored Area 51 tech exchanges, would invite spiritual catastrophe. This concern peaked in the 1990s, when they allegedly briefed senators and congressmen, urging a hands-off approach to what they saw as a Trojan horse of cosmic proportions. The Collins elite gained wider attention through Dr. Ray Boeche, a Nebraska-based theologian and ufologist who claimed a 1991 encounter with two Department of Defense physicists. Identifying themselves only as James and Richard, they approached Boeche, an Anglican priest with a deep interest in UFOs, for his theological expertise. In a detailed account shared with Redfern and later revised in a 2020 paper with Linda Moulton Howe, Boeche described their warning. The government was dabbling in occult-driven projects to contact NHEs, risking a spiritual invasion. They cited classified programs involving psychotronics and paranormal research, expressing dread that these efforts were opening gateways to entities beyond human control. Boeche, a former MUFON state director and founder of the Fortean Research Center, found their story credible, though he never saw physical evidence like UFO debris. His own research already lean toward a metaphysical explanation for UFOs, making their claims resonate. This meeting, if true, suggests the Collins elite operated as a fringe yet influential faction, whispering warnings to those who'd listen. Details of their operations are murky, relying heavily on second-hand accounts. By the 1990s, their numbers reportedly grew, shifting from a loose, official hobby to a more structured entity within the Pentagon's labyrinth. Redfern writes they accessed centuries-old demonology texts, producing internal documents linking modern ufology to ancient accounts of supernatural beings. Though no such papers have surfaced publicly, they're said to have lobbied policymakers, framing UFOs as a national security and spiritual threat, a stance that contrasts with the nuts and bolts focus of mainstream UAP investigations. In recent years, figures like Luis Elizondo, former head of the Pentagon's AATIP program, have acknowledged the Collins elite's existence, per ex posts from September 2024. Elizondo's book, Imminent Hints at a Faction Wary of NHE Engagement, though he stopped short of endorsing their demonic thesis. This nod from a credible insider has reignited interest, suggesting they may still linger in government shadows, influencing UAP discourse from behind closed doors. The Collins elite's tale is compelling but lacks hard proof. No declassified files mention them, and their story hinges on anecdotal testimony from Boeche, Redfern sources, and unnamed insiders. Critics argue it's a conspiracy born from Cold War hysteria, amplified by religious zeal. The absence of a paper trail, beyond speculative books like Final Events, raises doubts about their scale and impact. Some on Reddit's RUFOS in 2024 call it batshit, questioning why a group fearing demons wouldn't push harder to expose rather than suppress the phenomenon. Others see it as a misreading of real UAP programs, projecting theology onto ambiguous data. The demonic angle clashes with scientific efforts like those of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which reported 757 UAP cases from 2023 to 2024, finding no extraterrestrial evidence, but leaving 21 cases unexplained. The Collins elite's narrative feels more like a cultural artifact than a factual entity to many. Despite the skepticism, the Collins elite has left a mark on UFO lore. Redfern's Final Events popularized their story, inspiring podcasts like Hidden in the Shadows and NWCZ Radio's Down the Rabbit Hole in 2025 to explore their demonic theory. Ex-posts in February 2025 tie them to occult rituals and fallen angels, reflecting a persistent fringe fascination. Their influence peaks in Christian UFO circles, where figures like Boeche bridge faith and the unknown, and in conspiracy communities wary of government overreach. The groups clash with disclosure advocates, those pushing for UAP transparency, adds tension to the modern narrative. Some Redditors in 2024 speculate they oppose figures like Elizondo to protect their worldview, fearing open contact would unravel their spiritual warnings. Whether real or myth, they embody a rare fusion of theology and conspiracy in a field often dominated by tech and science. As of February 23, 2025, the Collins elite remains an enigma, unverified yet unshakable in certain corners. Their story thrives on ambiguity, fueled by a post-2023 UAP surge in congressional hearings that keep the topic alive. If they exist, they're likely a small belief-driven clique, not a sprawling Dr. Evil empire, as some exaggerate. Boeche's health decline by 2023 may mute further revelations, but their idea that UFOs mask a darker truth lingers, challenging us to question what we're really seeing in the sky.